KO on that Miraidon, and all of a sudden the pendulum of power has swung back. Stefan Ivanov currently has no energy in play.
But the thing is, once you build up a full bench, Raiko is happy. 2 full benches, Raiko hits 220.
Yep.
So with a full bench from Victor, all you need is to hit 1 energy off of a electric generator onto a Raiko, attach for turn, and your return KO is there. Stefan doesn't mind giving up 2 prize KOs as long as he's able to then respond. Stefan took the first one. If they go back and forth, Stefan wins.
This is true. This is very true. Worth noting, the Raikou is currently in the active, so won't be able to let it generate to that, at least
yes,
right
of
now.
course.
But yep, you're right. Lightning Rondo would get there. So would Raichu. So would another Photon Blaster, to be honest. It's going to be a very high explosive matchup. Just 2 prize KOs left, right, and center. And you know what, Ross? They're my favorite kind of games, I'll be honest.
They can be fun. I would not expect to see the Raichu this turn.
No.
Raichu was saving that for the V-Star. It's your only really good answer to it's the only way to hit up to 280 or above nice and easily. Oh, now Iron Hands. I mean, yeah. For those of you that can't see, because we're looking at the game, Shay's pointing at Iron Hands, and then he's pointing at Squawkabilly, and then he's pointing at Iron Hands, and then he's pointing at Squawkabilly.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. Iron Hands onto Squawkabilly. Fun free prize turn.
It really would be. I mean, Arm Press doesn't quite do enough damage to knock out anything else, but you know what's good about Ampy very much? It takes 1 extra prize card, so, and then obviously hitting Squawkabilly ×2 weakness would be kind of strong. Let's see what Stefan opts to do here. So we're going to see an Academy at Night activation.
Tells me we're probably going to see an electric generator hitting the board.
Yeah, there we go. You can see it there. Electric generator. We're going to see another 2 energy hits here. Look at top 5. Attach up to 2 lightning energy. You find there 1, and was that 2?
That's a double hit, Shay.
Oh, love to see it. Plenty of electric is being generated here in our round 5 feature match. Where are these going?
Miraidon. Because then you attach for turn, retreat your Raiko, boom. Instant KO, job is a good one.
Yep.
And this is what I love about the Miraidon decks. You've got a lot of options. One of the things we're seeing with these new builder, we're seeing it in this game. Academy at Night, meaning that you hit double off electric generator so much more easily, that opens up Miraidon as an attacker. Miraidon has traditionally been a kind of once per game, twice if you're lucky kind of thing, while you rely on things like your 2 energy Raiko. Not in this game, Shay.
Yeah, and I think it's actually a fantastic meta read, right? You know, as we see cards like Pheasantipity and Tilmask Ogerpons coming to the forefront of the meta game. These are all 2 prize Pokemon that cannot evolve. And that is where Miraidon becomes such a good attacker, right? You know, quickly dealing with them, decent hit points itself, and can set up the board via its tandem unit ability. I wonder if Miraidon could be the play, as we do see a Pheasantipity getting benched, and then we see a flip the script, drawing 3 as well.
You saw our caster predictions early, Shay. I told you Miraidon was the play like 3 days ago. You have no excuse for not knowing it coming in. Here comes in the Miraidon, though, and we see the KO on the Teal Mask Ogerpon. And here's the thing. Stefan now 1-2 prize KO from winning this game.
And has that Raichu as that just destroy everything button, as long as there's enough energy around there in play. Worth noting as well, we do see that emergency ball being attached to that Raikou, so that's going to be a free retreat pivot for the rest of the game. But it is over to Victor now, who's going to promote that Regidrago V-Star and start the turn off there with a Nest Ball. Let's see what he opts to take. Eyes up that Iron Bundle. Obviously, you can push whatever's in Stefan's active out. Let's see what else. I mean, is that the only target, actually?
The problem is, like, the number one thing that Stefan wants at the end of this turn is to keep those free energy.
Yes.
Those free energy want to be... So, for Victor, you really need to take out the active Miraidon. You want those free energy off the board. Because otherwise, Raichu just becomes so much of a threat here.
Yeah, that's like 180 damage straight off the bat if no other energy or attacks, probably. Then you'd have to have another 2 to attack with the Dynamic Spark. So we're looking at a high damage output there, as we are going to see the Iron Bundle getting put on the bench there. That ability Hyper Blower, as we are going to see an Earthen Vessel, Ross, discarding Cleffa, which we saw get used a lot in our round 3 feature match. This time getting sent straight to the discard pile to grab 2 basic energy.
Yeah, and you do, of course, need 1 more energy for Regidrago there. It's not quite got enough energy to attack yet. So a third one, a Grass specifically, will be needed for Apex Dragon. Are we going to see some trickery here? Because I'm wondering, like, we saw the KO, the giant KO using the Tiamat Gogapon.
Right.
One of the issues with that was it took 4 energy rather than 3 onto Regidrago. And obviously at this point, with 2 prizes remaining, you have to have your 280 Pokemon in the active.
Yes.
You can't leave your 220 there anymore.
For sure.
But what attack are you copying?
Well, it's going to have to be Lost Impact from Giratina. That's not currently available, though. But we do still see Legacy Star. Hasn't been used yet, but you're right. Victor does need to actually find the Lost Impact ASAP, as we are going to see the RNO being played. Victor will get 4. Stefan will get 2.
Because Kyurem doesn't do it.
Nope.
Great for spreading damage.
Yeah.
And Dragapult hits 200 to the active, but you need to hit 220. You need to take that Miraidon out. So...
Oh, I think it might be a Legacy Star and Prey here. We do not see... Oh, we do see Flip the Script as well. Giratina V-Star, where are you? Not there yet. Oh, this could be a very, very impactful Legacy Star. There's no other way to thin the deck right now. Supporter has been used. We could also see the Hyper Blower being activated and just try and carry something. But you're right, those 3 energy would love to get removed here from Victor's side of the board. Are we going to see the Legacy Star here, Ross?
We might see Legacy Star here. I mean, the reason for Iron Bundle is to basically go, look, I need to keep up with the prize race.
Yeah.
I want to take... I know it's not the best prize, but like if Victor doesn't take a KO this turn, then the game's basically over. So at least KO something and force Stefan to have the rest of the cards. Now, here's a question. Is it 10 cards we discard with Legacy? Or 7?
7.
How many cards are left in deck for Victor?
Ooh, that's a fair point, actually.
Are we late enough in the game that discarding the top 7 cards of the deck could end up getting rid of too many things or getting too close to backing out?
I think you might be right there. So it looks like we did see an Academy at Night activation and then a staging replacement with the Temple of Sinnoh, but you're right. Yeah, discarding 7, especially after using Squawk and Seas and Professor's Research. It looks like we're also going to see an Apex Dragon into a Max Phantom. 200 damage to the active and then 6 damage counters can be spread wherever you like. It looks like it's going to be on a Squawker Billy EX.
Now remember, Miraidon cannot attack 2 turns in a row and only does 220. So we're looking for some kind of gusting, plus a switch to the bench and come active. Or really what you want is to get Miraidon out the active after getting 2 energy on a Raichu, and then that's it. That's the game. That's 300 damage onto the Regidrago. You're good to go. That's the ideal situation. Some kind of switching card combined with an energy and an electric generator. But what's Stefan got in hand at this stage?
Yeah, remember, only having 2 after the RNO. We've seen an electric generator.
Double hit here would be absolutely huge.
Stefan, what have you got? 1. Oh, that'll be just the 1. Okay. Just the 1. Just the 1. Okay.
That's a start. Raichu needs 2 energy on. So if you've got another energy in hand plus a switch, that's game. But generally speaking, when players are shuffling, not slamming down the cards onto the table, they don't have it yet.
No. And worth noting that Max Phantom doesn't KO anything, so that means Flip the Script is not live right now for Stefan. Got Iono to 2, and Electric Generator was 1. That's going to go on the Raikou. We're going to see a Pay Retreat here. We're going to see a Fleet-Footed. I think we might be.
I think we're going to see a Lightning Rondo here. We could see a Fleet-Foot, but I do think we're going to probably just hit here. And remember,
what was that? Prime Catcher!
Oh, Prime Catcher onto the Squawk Committee! And then we see the KO with the Miraidon. I told you, Shay, gusting plus getting Miraidon to the bench and active. That's what Prime Catcher does. Squawkabilly goes down. Stefan takes game 1. Oh, that came out of nowhere, that did.
It really did. That fleet-footed just coming out of nowhere, grabbing that A-Spectre, bring that Miraidon back into the active Photon Blaster on the Squawkabilly, and all of a sudden, Stefan Ivanov is 1 game up here. Wow.
See, and I think this is where Stefan was as well. I'm like, well, you know what? You're not going to KO a Lightning Rondo, but do a bunch of damage with Raikou, do the damage with Lightning Rondo, and then look, Victor's not winning the game next turn, so everything is then in range of Miraidon the following turn. You know, win next turn. But then you fleet-footed, you draw the Prime Catcher, and like, wait, that's game.
That was honestly the one card that could get him out of that scenario, and it came up clutch. Victor thinking, wow, okay, fleet-footed got you there, fair enough. But it's best of 3. One good thing about this matchup is that games will be high tempo. There's still plenty of time for a game 2 and a game 3. But currently right now, in our round 5 feature match, Stefan Ivanov is 1-0. Let's have a look at some of these key plays here, Ross.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of these key plays. That turn 1 KO with Miraidon on Regidrago, absolutely phenomenal. We saw the speed and power of the deck very early on. Victor, I'm hoping we're going to see the gigantic Teal Mask Ogerpon return KO. That was absolutely huge here. There we go. But Stefan had enough to finish off.
And yeah, here we do see that Miraidon coming in there. And it was just, you know, every time your opponent takes a 2-prize KO turn 1, it's going to be tough. But there we did see the fleet-footed for the Prime Catcher, and that was all she wrote for game 1 off the top deck there as well. But wow, what a game 1 that was.
Right, I'm going to throw some maths at you for a second, Shay, all right?
Oh,
we had 3 electric generator played that game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We hit 5 energy off of it.
Yeah.
I think, if my maths holds, I'm not using a calculator here, but I'm pretty sure that means 1.67 energy per electric generator.
Yep.
1 2/3 of an energy. Most Miraidon players, if you tell them they're going to hit that, oh, they will be happy. But we're into game 2 here. Stefan's prized his Prime Catcher and 1 electric generator. Not ideal. On the other side, I am seeing Dragapult prize and Temple of Sinnoh.
He does play 2 copies of Dragapult though, because obviously that Phantom Dive is very impactful, so we'll have another one. Worth noting that the lead here though, looks like as Stefan is starting us off here, has led Squawkabilly, and we are seeing a tandem unit being activated to grab a Miraidon and something else, but Victor has led that Kyurem. That is a hard Pokemon to get out of the active.
I've heard, and I don't know how much I believe it, I've heard some people telling me Kyurem is not an auto-include in Regidrago because of the difficulty of potentially starting with it.
Yeah.
I think the attack is so good you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Right now, we're seeing that argument in practice. The fact that, you know what, if you start with it, not only is it a bad starter, but you've then got to either give up a prize or work really hard to get it into the discard pile, and it does become a little bit awkward. Of course, vast majority of players obviously playing Kyurem.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's an argument I've heard.
As we do see that an Ultra Ball being played there to grab the Iron Bundle and Energy Attachment to a bench Miraidon. And it looks like we're going to see a Squawk and Seize as well. Potentially, I don't quite get to consult the hand here. It didn't look too great. We do see a Radiant Greninja. And then we do see the Squawk and Seize. 6 new cards there for Stefan. Tell you what, this sounds looking. It starts looking quite good. Do see some double turbo energy, a basic energy. I think that might be it. We're going to see a concealed cards. Going to draw 2, Zapdos and Boss. Okay, so I think that's going to be all the actions there for Stefan.
Worth noting, Stefan just discarded a Boss and drew into the other 2.
Oh.
So all the Boss available this game are in Stefan's hand, and Prime Catcher is prized. So just keep a little bit of an eye on Stefan's hand. I wouldn't expect to see something like well, basically they're going to be protected in the hand is what I'm saying here. We're not going to see them getting discarded because we kind of need them. So Victor's had a bad start, but it does look like we're using Ultra Ball on, is that Dragapult? Oh, yeah. So the second Dragapult already hit in the discard.
Yep, so I think it was discarding a Regidrago V-Star, as we see there, and Dragapult EX. So now all of a sudden, prizing another copy is fine, because you don't really need that, so that can stay in the prizes. And yeah, Phantom Dive will be available, as we do see. Looks like Regidrago being opted to be the target here, but looks like Victor is going to be doing some prize checking as well. Yeah,
we see this all the time from players, good players a lot of the time. They go, right, I got 6 cards that are unavailable to me because they are in the prizes. Look, we check them at the start of every game as well. We just can do it really easily because we get the images. They have to look through their deck and try and figure out what is prized.
Yep, and that's sometimes can be a hard thing to do, so players have to do that. As that Ultra Ball does conclude, they're going to grab that Regidrago V. And we do see an Earthen Vessel activation. We're going to get rid of, another Regidrago V-Star. So that's 2 currently in the discard pile.
There isn't 1 prize.
Yeah, there isn't 1 prize. Just checking. Just checking. But only 1 to work with, at least for now. Obviously, we do have access to Legacy Star, so we'll be able to get some back if needed. But that would obviously require you to have another Regidrago in play.
There is also Night Stretcher, that is a new card in this deck. And there is an argument sometimes to have some in the deck, some in the discard, so then all of your searching options for them are live when you need them. Right now, it looks like we are going to... Actually, Night Stretcher is now in the discard pile.
Yes, off that Professor's research, we did see a Fire Energy attachment before that research there as well. We do see an Ultra Ball in the hand, though, so that means a Regidrago V-Star will be easily gotten if Victor likes. The Nest Ball is going to be played here, I would imagine, for a Teal Mask Ogerpon. So you can get that in play, start using Teal Dance, get some energy in play, and draw more cards as well.
Sounds good to me. And here's the thing. When you go, like, letting Miraidon go second, you're like, well, what if they get a big KO going second, which we saw in game 1?
Yeah.
But letting Miraidon go first gives them a turn to set up.
Yeah.
You have a turn, and this deck is not taking prizes turn 1.
No.
And then Miraidon still gets to try and take the first prize, except they've had kind of a setup turn in advance of their big KO turn. So can be a little bit scary if you are not able to take early prizes. Giving Miraidon 2 turns to set up that KO can be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, intimidating is a very good word to describe that for sure. Because it looks like we're going to see another Regidrago V benched, and so we're going to see an Ultra Ball going to be played here as well. I wonder what this is going to discard. So we're going to discard a Professor's Research and an Energy Switch, and it looks like we're going to grab here another Ogerpon perhaps, the Tilmask Ogerpon.
No, Radiant Charizard. Not great now, but Radiant Charizard will just get a very clean one-hit KO onto a Miraidon. You only need 1 Fire Energy, and then it's 4 colorless, reduced by 1 for each prize card your opponent's taken. So they take a 2-prize KO, for instance. It's a free energy attack, but you're playing a deck with energy acceleration and energy switch. So it could be, I mean, it's certainly a lot cheaper than Tilmask Ogerpon was last game. And there's a good chance you only give up 1 prize here. So you're giving Stefan a really awkward prize map where they have to get the Kyurem. Then they have to get the Radiant Charizard. Then they have to get 2. Well, that's 4 KOs instead of 3, Shay. That's not ideal.
And I guess it's worth noting as well, what that Radiant Charizard does, we know that Stefan prized the Prime Catcher, is that Hyper Blower now, if Stefan was to use it, you could just promote the Radiant Charizard, so you're not giving him the first 2 prize KO just off the Iron Bundle, so it's also fulfilling that use as well.
Yeah, that's a good point there, getting 2 one-prize Pokemon down to force Stefan to have to be KOing one of them. Oh, again, lovely deck. Look at the, excuse me, having a lovely, nice look at Stefan's deck there. Boom, nailed it. And just getting a good look at every card there in the deck so you can see exactly what's available. Little treat for everyone watching.
It looks like we are going to see an Arven being played here. It looks like a skateboard is going to be, rescue board, I should say, not a skateboard.
It's going to be electric generator.
Yeah,
Come on, it's Miraidon. It's always electric generator. If you see a Miraidon player playing an Arven, they're going for an electric generator. They cannot help themselves, and I don't blame them. Because, you know, get your energy. It's just, this is not the game I want to play if I'm Stefan. Victor's doing a really good job here of making Stefan play an awkward game, because you cannot avoid Radiant Charizard. Remember, it was prized in game 1. It does 250 and its attack only gets cheaper. You have to KO it.
As we do see Electric Generator being played there. Only 1 copy of a basic Lightning Energy there. Not bad, not bad. We'll take it as boys. Better than none.
It's better than none, but here's the thing. Academy at Night back in game 1 was helping Stefan fix it, basically.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And we're not seeing that here. Now, we did have the attachment turn 1, so the attack's on the board here.
Yep.
Stefan does not want to KO Kyurem and get KO'd straight back. That is not what you're looking for here.
Do you see Rescue Board? I wonder if we're going to see a Motivate, potentially. No, we are going to see the basic energy attached to the bench. The Rescue Board attached to the active, so he can retreat.
Stefan has to take prizes here. You've got to do it. Oh.
Or not. Maybe he doesn't. He's going to opt to leave Iron Bundle in the active. I like this. It's being like, well, I don't want to take a 1-prize KO, so I'm going to try and make you take a 1-prize KO, so it's just going to be...
Well, that made me look really stupid then, Shay. You have to take prizes. And Stefan's like, no, I don't. I'm bundling the active and pass. So what this is telling me is Stefan is going to ignore the Radiant Charizard, which is a risky play.
Yeah.
Because it means that Victor essentially just KOs you back without... It KOs everything in Stefan's deck.
Yes.
Without really trying. And if you're going to KO the Charizard, you kind of have to KO the Kyurem. So... it's a little awkward, honestly. I can see what Stefan's doing, and I like it. The prize map 2-2-2 is better, but it does lead you in an awkward situation where you kind of have to just let Victor have the Radiant Charizard, because if you're going to do a 4 KO prize map, then you need to start last turn.
We did see an energy switch there being played. Going to get energy onto the Regidrago. Ooh, there is no Regidrago V-Star in that hand there, Ross.
There is not. Remember, there's only 1 available in the deck.
We do have Till Dance still being able to be used here, but Tell you what, they're going to have to be, these Okamon are going to have to do some good dance moves to get Victor out of this. What was that? It was Hawlucha. We've got one more use of Teal Dance here, potentially.
I love Hawlucha, but that was not the right time for it to come out.
Worth noting, Victor did draw into his one copy of Switch. He will be able to maneuver Kyurem if he would like, but hasn't got a Regidrago V-Star yet.
Nor does he have the third energy yet.
Very
and if
true.
you keep attaching him to, does he have enough to attach for Teal Dance and then for turn?
Yes. Yeah, he hasn't attached for turn yet, so looks like we are going to see Teal Dance activation number 2. What is this card going to be, Teal Mask Ogerpon? It's a Pheasantipity EX, Ross, that. Unless my eye deceive me, is not a Regidrago V-Star.
Yeah, he didn't have another energy, but he did have an energy switch. So the energy wasn't the issue there. The issue was no V-Star.
Goodness, looks like this one prize active. One prize is staying active here. Now Stefan has the opportunity. I think has a boss's orders in hand, actually.
Well, so he only had 2 left in the deck, and they were both in hand.
Yes.
So he should have 2 in hand.
So can we get this Iron Bundle out the active? We do see a bait. Okay, well that works. That's going to get you out the active. And can remove 2 energy off of Regidrago here as well. That's fantastic. Photon Blaster will be very efficient here, looks like. Yep, boss orders is still in the hand, so can't just do that. No, nothing really else to do in that hand, though, because it's all full of supporters and Pokemon, and when you're benched, you can't do that. So I imagine we're going to see that boss's orders being played and remove 2 energy and a Regidrago V. Fun play.
Yeah, I really like this play. It means that Victor has to work so hard. And, I mean, basically, you need double energy switch. Oh,
I like this.
Using Iron Band. There we go.
Just saying, nope, don't want to hit that, so I'm going to boss his orders anyway. And then that frees up a bench spot as well for Stefan.
We've all done it. We've all used a card to make your opponent choose a new active in the hope that they choose the one that we want. It's the World Championships. That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But like you say, freed up a bench spot. It had to be the Regidrago there. That does go and get KO'd. Stefan takes the first 2 prizes again. But Victor, any attack here is going to take a Fire Energy and 2 energy switch, whether that's on a Regidrago V-Star, whether that's on a Radiant Charizard. But here's the thing I'm thinking if I'm Victor. Stefan has given up the prize map that involves 2 one-prize Pokemon. So if I get my free energy onto a Charizard, Stefan still wants a 2-prize KO. I might have that attacker for the rest of the game now, or force Stefan into an awkward prize map.
Yep. That is something to keep an eye on, as we do see Victor bench a Pheasantipity EX and then use Flip the Script. Worth noting, Victor's top deck for the turn was Ultra Ball, so he was very close to that Regidrago V-Star last turn, was 1 card away. Looks like Victor did draw into the copy of Night Stretcher as well, so plenty of ways to get the Regidrago V-Star. As we are going to see a superior energy retrieval being played. Discard 2 cards from your hand and then grab 4 basic energy from your discard pile and put them straight onto your hand.
And of course, when you're playing this deck, you've got your Teal Mask Ogerpon on the board, so it doesn't just give you energy, it puts the energy on the board and gives you draw power as well because of those Teal Dance abilities, like we just saw there. Now, we've got a Fire Energy, we've got an energy switch at least. Do we have 2 by any chance?
I don't think there's 2 in hand, but if we do see Night Stretcher for Regidrago V-Star or Ultra Ball for Regidrago V-Star, you can use Legacy Star to then grab back some from the discard pile. So I think Apex Dragon is definitely live this turn, but whether Victor would opt to use that or use Combustion Blast from the Radiant Charizard, both are live right now.
I like using Combustion Blast just because it almost forces Stefan to deal with it and then go onto an uneven prize map.
Yes.
Or ignore it and give you an attacker for the rest of the game, either of which is quite nice. The downside is, if you put all the energy on there and Stefan does deal with it, that does get rid of a lot of energy very easily.
It really does, especially if you have to use Legacy Star to then grab back your energy switch to power up Combustion Blast. That now means you have less to use to try and power up a Regidrago if you need it for the rest of the game. We are going to see Regidrago taken off that Ultra Ball there, though. So Legacy Star will be available if Victor chooses to do it. Let's see what he does here. Yeah, we are going to see Legacy Star, so discard top 7 cards of your deck and then grab any 2 cards you like from your discard pile. Oh, okay, a lot of energy there. Cleffa, Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, Boss Orders, and Professor Research, but now Victor can grab any 2. Now I imagine Energy Switch is going to have to be at least one of these.
I mean, right now, you need a second energy switch in order to get an attack. Actually, it might be double energy switch coming back.
Yeah.
I don't mind this at all. You need energy right now. And here's the thing, Team Mask Gogapon, great at getting energy into play,
Yeah.
but it doesn't put it in the right place. It's
No.
not, it can attack, and obviously in some matchups where you're against Charizard and hit for weakness, yeah, fine. But in a lot of matchups, it is just there as an engine. There we go. This is what I was imagining was going to happen.
Yep.
And this puts Stefan in a very awkward situation.
It does.
You KO it, but you could have had a one prize KO a minute ago and you turned it down, so you're on an uneven prize map. Or you don't KO it, but then Victor can every turn just go, respond with Charizard.
Yeah.
Respond with Charizard. So this is a very awkward situation Victor's put Stefan into, and I love it.
I tell you what, I don't think Stefan's hand's particularly that great, you know. We see Professor's research in the hand, but there is no Arven, or there is an electric generator, I should say. So has got some resources to work here and an Ultra Ball. But yeah, it's really awkward because you have to deal with this Radiant Charizard, or you can try and race and grab two more 2-prize KOs. But like you said, all Victor has to do in that scenario, which is announced Combustion Blast. And if you miss a single turn, then you swing the game back over. So this is a very, very interesting game.
Yeah, this is one of those games where you're taking big 2-prize knockouts, so the theory is simple. Take the first knockout, don't stop taking knockouts.
Yes.
Simple as that. But if you take out the Charizard, that's kind of like taking a turn off knocking out.
Yeah,
if you don't knock out, that's obviously taking a turn off knocking out. So Stefan doesn't really just need to get an attacker rolling. He needs to get an attacker rolling with gusting, knowing that you need the same thing next turn. Although, if Stefan does get the KO, will draw that Prime Catcher off the prizes.
Yes. That is something to keep an eye on for sure. As Stefan is going to grab a Pheasantipity EX from the deck, so Flip the Script will be live. Love that. Going to get 3 cards from the deck. One of the new cards from Shrouded Fable. We're going to draw 3 there, and let's see what these are. We know there is definitely at least one electric generator in hand. Oh, Blood Moon Ursaluna. That's a very good card at taking 2-prize KOs. Well, unless it's not hitting into a V-Star, of course.
Do we have bosses? I think we still have one boss's orders in hand.
There's one boss's orders in hand.
Okay, so Stefan doesn't know he's going to draw into the Prime Catcher off the prizes. He knows he's got a 50% chance. But I think the play here is just Blood Moon Ursaluna onto a bench 2-prize Pokemon. Hope you hit Prime Catcher next turn.
Yep.
Jobs are good, and now you need free energy on Blood Moon Ursaluna. And that's the issue.
You can't electric generator to it, so...
No. So it's almost a downside. Victor's not taken enough prizes here. But it at least gives an option for the final KO.
Yes, it really does.
And with a full bench, you don't need much. Right, 1 energy. You need 1 energy for your Raikou here. Raikou can attack for 2 energy.
Oh, no!
It's a whiff!
Oh, goodness. That is not the turn to whiff electric generator there. All of a sudden, I'm not even sure if an attack is possible here for Stefan.
That was it. But if you get the energy there, you get the KO with a boss's orders, and then you can next turn Prime Catcher plus Blood Moon Ursaluna, and that's the game. There's just 6 prizes.
Yeah, but that's not going to be possible. And I don't think there was any other electric generator in hand. I mean, you could Arve them, but that means you're not going to be able to then...
There we go. Yep. And that's the thing. Like, there is a reason Stefan has not played a support yet this turn. Because you want to end the turn on boss's orders taking a 2-prize KO. This is really awkward, but you're going Bravery Charm. Essentially here, you are trying to take a 1-prize KO and survive.
Yes. And that's going to be interesting. Bravery Charm forces Lost Impact to be used, but then Victor, we've seen a lot of energy switch there being played, so it might be hard to get the Apex Dragon rolling. Electric Generator, and there's a 2. So that's not bad, to be fair. Would have loved that to be on the first electric generator, but we do see 2 here off this one.
Yeah, it's just so annoying that it came when it's too late now to go and play your boss's orders. So you're kind of forced into attacking into the active, which I'm not sure you even necessarily want to do.
I mean, we could see a retreat and promotion of the Raging Greninja, and that is possible.
I think that's it. I think you put a 1-prizer active and basically play Victor at his own game.
Put the Bravery Charm on just to make a boss's orders KO on the Rhydon even harder. Let's see what Stefan opts to do here. You are correct. There's many different lines. We're going to see the retreat. We are going to see an attack, though. Throw it on Blaster KO.
It's not a bad play by any stretch of the imagination, because what you're doing here, you're not helping your prize map greatly, but you're hurting Victor. That, like I said a minute ago, this takes all the energy off Victor's, or all but one energy off the board.
Yep.
So it means that Victor is going to have to work really hard to get a return KO in conjunction with a Bravery Charm.
Yep.
Instead of trying to just put a one prizer active, Stefan's gone, I don't think you can KO this back.
Yep.
And it's going to work out.
Yep. And, you know, did actually take the Prime Catcher from the prize as well. So that is an option for Stefan next turn. Looks like Victor is going to promote the Regidrago V-Star. Energy Switch in hand, there's not. We need to see Energy Switch this turn.
Yes.
That is a non-negotiable if Victor wants to attack. We're going to start the turn off with an Earthen Vessel. Going to try and thin the deck. Is there even an Energy Switch there? Is there? I don't think there is.
Yeah, one.
Oh, there is
deck.
one. There is
in
one.
Deck.
There is one in deck. Okay.
We
Oh, so there is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
3 INO, Energy Switch, Squawkabilly, Nest Ball, Energy, and is that Earthen Vessel?
Which one?
The one that's Squawkabilly.
Oh
no,
Vessel.
it's... Yeah, it is an Earthen Vessel.
It was an Earthen Vessel, yeah.
That's the entire deck. That is everything Victor has left to play with.
Okay, so there's one Energy Switch there. How many energy are in hand? How many Till Dance have we got? Although you need to attach fire, actually.
You have to attach fire.
Yeah, we have to attach fire.
We got one in hand.
We got one in hand. Okay. So, okay, there's 2 copies of Basic Rust. We can get 2 uses of Till Dance. We need to see Energy Switch here, folks at home. Till Dance. That is not an Energy Switch. Oh,
I know.
Goodness gracious me. It's just going to count the cards here. Oh my goodness. Obviously can use Iono here as well to try and get there. You'd love to try and see it off the Till Dance first though. But let's see what Victor opts to do. Looks like we are going to... Oh, he's debating it. Here we go. Are we going to be Till Dance? He's debating.
He's certainly thinking about it.
Here we go then, Ross. Are we going to see it?
We
Till
need
Dance.
Energy Switch.
Energy Switch. Nest Ball.
Nest Ball.
Okay. So, we will have to play the Iono here, I would imagine, to try and get there. Still not? Well, still draws 4. There's more than 4 cards left in the deck, so it's definitely not guaranteed. Going to reset Victor's hand down to 4 and Stefan down to 3, putting both players' hand to the bottom of the deck, and they draw 1 for each prize card left.
And this is a classic example of why cards like Iono, putting cards to the bottom of your deck is so big.
Oh, no! One more card! Oh, he hit it off the last card!
Hit it off the final card!
Woo! Okay.
Made us work for that. Oh, I had Pheasant Dipty.
Oh, did add Pheasant Dipty as well. Did get the Prime Catch. I'm not going to use that now, though. We need to be slamming into the active. But I tell you what, though, actually. If you was to use Lost Impact here, you have to Lost Zone 2 of your energy. And we know that all the energy switch are being used here. That means it's going to be very hard to attack again.
There is an argument here to say Prime Catcher the Squawkabilly, copy Dragon Bolt, do 200 while you've got damage counters onto... Is there any more gusting available for next turn for Victor?
Not out the gates, no. I think you're right. I don't think you can afford to Lost Impact here. I think you're right. You have to Dragapult and then go into Lost Impact.
Resources are getting very, very slim.
2 cards left in deck there by the looks of it, so... Yeah, Nest Ball, is it? Oh, no, there's more than 2, so it is 3. Okay.
Now, I like this. They're going to be going after something else instead. No prizes for guessing what Stefan's going to promote, though.
Yeah.
Although there's an argument you kind of need that to draw cards next turn. The Greninja, obviously, is what I'm talking about.
So it looks like... No, we are just going to see... Yeah, we are just going to see the Lost Impact, KO the active. They go into the Lost Zone, 2 basic energy. Okay.
You kind of had to, because there was no other way you were going to do it. Because even if you copy Dragapult, put 6 damage counters on the Rhydon, that would have brought it down to 210, which is still not in range of another Dragapult attack.
But but on the next turn, you can just use Lost Impact to win the game, right? So
could, but then there's the energy question. You're right, though.
Yeah, so it was awkward. Over to Stefan's side of the board now, as Victor is on 2 prize cards, worth noting. Over to Stefan. Does promote the Squawkabilly. Going to start the turn off there with the flip the script. Going to draw 3. Oh, goodness. They didn't look like a very good 3 there. Can't quite have had a chance to see what it was. Did get Iono to 3, of course. Let's have an Electric Generator. Forest Seal Stone. Good few cards there. Arven, Switch Cart. So let's see what opts to do here.
Got Raichu in hand, but again, that's more kind of for the last KO. I mean, do you just gust? No, you kind of have to go after the Regidrago V-Star here, I think. and then you gust for the final prize next turn. Oh, it's so awkward. Stefan's starting to run low on energy as well. There's 2 lightning, 1 double turbo in hand, so maybe you do go prime catcher this turn and try and finish with a big Raichu next turn.
Yeah.
But then that gives Victor 1 more turn of Regidrago, which could be enough to then win the game in that regard. It's a lot of options here, Shay.
Really is. I mean, you've seen all 4 energy switch there being used. We know there's not a lot of energy left. Maybe you just try and say, right, I'm going to carry something else and hope you can't Apex Dragon next turn. It's possible. We do see a retreat there into a fleet-footed. It might have been a switch cart there, it looks like. It's not quite prime catcher in game 1 off the fleet-footed, but does have Forest Hill Stone available and Electric Generator and a basic energy in hand. So plenty of options here for Stefan to work with. Just trying to work out what is best.
Worth noting, we've gone below 5 minutes in the game now.
Yep.
So the chance of getting a game free, although these games can be very quick, chance of getting a game free here is becoming very, very slim. So it really is very big at this stage as to what we want. Like Stefan needs to try and win 2-0, and here we do see. Remember, there was a turn earlier in the game he could have had the Kyurem and chose not to.
Are we going to potentially see a boss's order and say, you've got 2 cards left in deck, I've seen you play Switch, I don't think you can move this Kyurem? Is that what we're going to see?
We could. It's a risky strategy.
And we're going to see a Motivate as well. I like this. Motivate, grab 2 basic energy from the discard pile and attach them to your bench Pokemon. Oh, but it does have Prime Catcher and basic energy, so it can bring up, well, any one of those 2 prize Pokemon and carry them with Lost Impact. Victor is winning our game 2 here, and it's all going to go down to a game 3.
And we are going to see some fast play from these players. And look, especially Miraidon is a deck that can go very, very fast. But we're sitting at 1-1 here. We got about 4 minutes left, probably nearer to 3 by the time we start, plus the customary free turns. It is going to take quite a lot for one of these players to wrap this up in the allotted time remaining.
It really is, but I tell you what we saw it in game 1. Miraidon took that first big KO. It's definitely possible, and Regidrago is not a slow deck by any means, so it's possible. Let's see what happens.
The deal here, take 2 prizes before time is called.
Yeah.
Once time is called, you will get 2 more turns. So if you can take 2 prizes before time's called, that gives you 2 turns to take 2 more 2-prize knockouts, and 2 plus 2 times 2 is 6.
Yep.
That is how many prize cards you need to take to win a game in the Pokemon TCG. So that's the goal. It's not winning before time is called.
No.
It is taking 2 prizes before time is called. You do that, you're in a decent position.
Really are. So let's see, both players are drawing their cards. Looks like Victor has a basic Pokemon. Stefan, I think, has mulliganed twice here. So we're going to have to shuffle up and try and get a basic Pokemon at least to start the game. Let's see what happens here. I'm intrigued to see. I wonder what Stefan opted to do, go first or second. Maybe second, right? Try and force the pressure.
I would be very, very tempted to go second here.
Yeah.
And it's risky. You don't always get a great opening hand. But my theory is, my opponent takes 1 turn, I have a go fast turn, take a KO, and I have got 2 more turns to try and win the game.
So
that's what I'm going for here.
So it looks like Stefan has got a basic Pokemon this time. So in the game, our game 3 is about to start here in our Swiss Round 5 feature match here at the 2024 World Championships.
And Antoine will be going Antoine. There is another French player, the lovely Antoine Boulet, who is also playing Miraidon in this tournament. It's easy to get confused. This is Stefan, who is choosing to go second here. So, potential big go fast turn?
It's definitely live right now, as Victor has led a Regidrago V. So that will be a 2-prize Pokemon in the active. Stefan has led the Raging Greninja. That can retreat for 1 though, so that means you can put the rescue board on there and then be able to get out of there. So over to Victor here, gonna Ultra Ball there for a Regidrago V, and gonna pop it, I'm not sure into play, but at least into the hand at the very least.
Yeah, and we're looking at the time here. When time is called is very important. When time is called, that player finishes their turn and there's 3 more. So if time's called on Victor's turn, he gets the end of that turn plus 1 more. Stefan gets 2 full turns. If time is called during Stefan's turn, oh, here we go. Okay.
Here we go.
Stefan, you have 1 minute. End the turn on a KO before time is called. I know I'm asking a lot, but that is how you end up winning this match rather than getting a tie. You have 45 seconds to complete your turn and KO that Regidrago in the active. Go.
So harsh. It has an electric generator in hand and a Forestall Stone, but it has no way of getting a Pokemon to use. So I think it's going to have to do a Squawking Seas, getting rid of those valuable resources there.
Oh,
and there are a ton of them. Got a Squawking Seas, get 6 new cards. Are we going to see enough to take a big KO? And are we going to see it in 20 seconds? I'm not sure, but Stefan's doing his very best to try.
It has to be before time is called. I know you can take extra prizes with your Iron Hands, but the problem here is that you just not got enough time and Iron Hands doesn't do enough damage. Time has now officially been called. That is a tie. Neither player is going to be able to finish up. Stefan wins game 1, Victor wins game 2, and we end up here with a tie. Stefan's deck goes fast. Unfortunately, not quite fast enough.
Yeah, and that was tough. It would have been interesting to see if Stefan did have like a nest ball in that opening hand, because did have a lot of resources there, I reckon, to be able to take a 2-prize KO, but unfortunately didn't have a way to find a Pokemon. So our round 5 here will end in a tie, but a fantastic game there nonetheless. We saw just, again, similar to our round 3, where we saw in game 1 Miraidon set up perfectly and did what it had to do. In game 2, Regidrago was able to get the victory there, showing how versatile it was, being able to copy multiple attacks. But unfortunately, there was just not enough time there for a game 3.
No, it is unfortunate sometimes. And look, we've got to keep this tournament rolling, right? It's the World Championships. We need to get through all the rounds today, but sometimes time runs out and you just go, I was kind of enjoying that. Would be nice if we could have a few more turns, but that is not how the game works. We all know what the time limit is before we come into the event, and unfortunately not quite enough. So here comes the replay here. This is game 1 with that giant KO on the very first turn there for Stefan, which really set the tone there. We then see that Victor had a very large return KO using Teal Mask Ogre Bomb to KO that Miraidon right back, even it up at 2 prizes each.
Yeah, and that was a massive, massive turn there, but Stefan was immediately able to respond with another Photon Blaster, and that was pretty much all she wrote there. Victor was constantly playing on the back foot, and obviously did get that Prime Catcher from the Raikou fleet-footed to close that game up. Fantastic. Then coming into game 2, Victor was, able to sort of get back here from that big Photon Blaster, and that Radiant Charizard coming in to really set the tempo, even it all up. And I think as soon as Stefan was forced to take the KO this Radiant Charizard, he was then on the back foot. Didn't want to have to take a 1-prize KO at any point.
No, did not want to have to do that. And here we go. We see the Radiant Charizard coming out with a very large KO. Taking out the Miraidon nice and easily. And that was a bit of a threat, and then it forced into an awkward situation where we had to take out that, and then that just put the prize map off a little bit there. And that was a little bit of a theme in game 2. Victor able to get their Regidrago just rolling, taking big KOs, using Lost Impact to take big KOs. But in game 3, it was just not enough time.
It really, unfortunately, it just wasn't. And yeah, it could have been possible, but the way the cards fell, Stefan wasn't able to get up a big Miraidon straight away and take the 2-prize KO. Very close with that open hand. If there was a Nest Ball or an attacker, had the Forestall Stone, had the electric generator, but unfortunately in the top 7 cards, that just didn't fall for Stefan.
Still would have been awkward to get it all done in time. It's very upsetting. Right, I got an update for you, Shay.
Have you?
How many Miraidon do you think are currently sitting at 5-0 after the round? I'll tell you, all the 4-0 Miraidons have concluded their game. Okay. There were 6 of them. 6. How many won? How many are sitting at 5-0?
Right, well, we know one of them. They're just tied. We just watched it.
We just watched it.
So it can't be the full 6. I'm going to say half, unfortunately, tied or lost. So that would leave 3.
4.
Okay.
There are 4 Miraidon at the World Championships sitting at 5-0. And 5-0 is a very important score because 6-0 guarantees day 2. You want to keep going.
Yeah, of course.
You want to keep getting some points.
Yeah.
Try and get yourself towards top 8. Or that asymmetrical top cut, which of course can be more than top 8 today or this weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are 4 Miraidon players sitting with 5 wins, no losses, 1 win away from guaranteeing day 2. It's a good time to be a Miraidon fan. That's all I'm saying, Shay.
It really is, you know. Fair play. Your castle position so far seems to be doing quite well. And as I was watching that game, I was sort of thinking, I can see why players have been gravitating towards this Miraidon and why it seems to be floating to the top of the pack. I mean, you know, anytime there's multiple 2-prize Pokemon, Tilmas, Ogerpon, Pheasantipity, or even Vs that haven't evolved yet, that's when Miraidon sort of licks its lips and says, you know, I'm quite good at KOing these guys. Let's have a little crash bang wallop and start KOing them as early as your first turn. That's ridiculous pressure.
Yeah, also can confirm the Iron Thorns mirror did not end in a tie.
Oh, really?
So congratulations to Fernando Cifuentes, sitting at 5-0 with Iron Thorns. I think we got on quite well during that game, didn't we, Shay?
Yeah.
Pair of us, you know, we were pretty good friends. We got on quite well.
Okay.
Time to have an argument.
Oh.
It is the next round of our A-Spec bracket. This is where we stop being quite so nice to each other and start arguing about our favorite A-Spec.
Okay, that sounds good to me. I love a good argy-bargy me. So I'm currently 1-0 up so far. Unfair Stamp versus Neutralization Zone looks like it's going to be our one here. I think it's going to be a tough one, but, you know, we'll see what happens. Our first semi-final, it looks like our semi-final has been chosen, our top one, and it looks like I've had confirmation. I have Neutralization Zone.
I was going to say, after how bad it went for me last time, I think I deserve Unfair Stamp. Who's going first?
I'm not sure. I haven't been told who's going first.
Oh.
Looks like I'm going first with Neutralization Zone. Oh boy. Okay, I'll try my best, chat. I'm going to try my best. Oh goodness. I think as I have my time here, there's my timer.
There we go. Go.
All right.
Go.
So we've seen how important taking prize cards is in the Pokemon TCG. That's how you win most of the time. So how about if you just say, hold up, you're not going to be able to take many prizes at all. I mean, how many rulebox Pokemon are in the format right now? Dude. Quite a lot. So Neutralization Zone just says they are all useless right now. And it's a stadium. That means you can get over multiple uses. A-Specs are normally 1 per deck, but you can get a lot of use from Neutralization Zone. Bang. There you go.
Very nice. I was going to interrupt you then. Didn't even need to.
Didn't
right.
have to.
Oh, I feel good about this one, Shay. You feel good about Unfair Stamp.
You feel good about Unfair Stamp. Okay,
I feel like it might not be terribly fair that I got to have this one and you didn't, but I am cool with it. Let's get 30 seconds on the clock.
3, 2, 1, go on then.
Okay, unfair by name, unfair by nature. Your opponent takes 1 prize at any point in the game. You put them down to a 2-card hand, you get a 5-card hand. Oh, you're playing against an aggressive deck, need some time to set up. Brilliant. Put your opponent down to a 2-card hand. It's late in the game, 2-card hand. Randomly in the mid-game, 2-card hand. And last not forgetting, look at how many decks are playing it and are winning with it. It is clearly a top 2 A-Spec in the game right now. Easy.
Stop. Come on now, you got that easy. That one on the line there, that easy word there. Goodness. Yeah, Unfair Stamp's good card. Neutralization Zone now. Come on, chat. So if you're on Twitch right now, you'll be able to get on the poll and vote for what your favorite A-Spec is. Now, I think this is a bit of a David versus Goliath, but if I can rally up the chat here for the upset, that would be fantastic. So when that poll is open on Twitch, make sure to get involved and vote for what your favorite or most impactful A-Spec is.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of A-Specs that are real powerhouse A-Specs that get played in so many decks and are so impactful all over the place. And now I'll be honest with you, Shay.
Right.
I love Unfair Stamp.
Right.
When I'm being objective. When I'm being subjective, I like decks that go fast. I've had many a game of mine ruined by Unfair Stamp since that card came out. I do like taking those early prizes. I do not like drawing nothing. It's, yeah, a little bit of... What I do like, I'm going to give some love here to the card designers who called it Unfair Stamp.
Yeah, that is.
Because you know what? Yeah. It's not fair. It's one of those cards, you know, the first time we see it, I have a look. And, yeah.
It's like, wow, that's a tough card, that. And to be fair, that'd be a fantastic card against Miraidon, right? Like, imagine if after that big turn 1K, you just say, hold up, mate. Boom. Have that 2-card hand. You're like, ooh.
It's particularly good against Miraidon because Miraidon tends to play a lot of kind of one-shot things. So, you know, your Squawkabilly, Pheasant Dipsy, which only comes in after a KO,
Yep.
it doesn't have that on-board every turn draw that a lot of decks do.
Yeah.
So putting it down to a low hand when it's got a very large deck and there are lots of cards in there, it can really, really ruin a day.
It really can. It really, really can. It is a terrifying ace back. And it's like, just the threat of unfair stamp being in format makes you think sometimes, like, do I actually want to take this KO? Because if my opponent just unfair stamps me, I could be in a whole world of trouble. So that's just the power. But why am I arguing for unfair stamp, actually? Why am I saying how good it is? Stop. No, no, no. Vote for neutralization zone, please.
I mean, I don't need to say anything else.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I've always made my argument for me.
Losing my mind.
The stamp stuff, you know what else is unfair, Shay?
What's that?
We sit here,
Okay.
we make our arguments.
Okay.
I think we got quick passionate, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't get to see the results yet.
Oh.
You guys have to come back after the break when I'm pretty sure there's going to be a new pair of casters, and we're going to have to run to the green room to get there in time to see the results. You guys grab yourselves a nice cold beverage. Don't go anywhere. The results of that and lots more Pokemon action are going to be coming up very shortly indeed.
Vote for.
1，比赛结束。胜利！ 加油！ 结束。胜利！
in the tournament, or at least my defender selection that I chose in that one. And I got to admit, a pretty rocky start to the day for Mamoswine. It was played and 1-0. However, it's starting to pick up some momentum. It's getting some success, and clearly evidenced by how many times it has been selected these days. Teams are liking the Mammut.
I mean, it is
Mammut.
able to deal with. I mean, the fact that currently we are in a very brawler-heavy meta, we get a lot of these strong.
Apparently, every VGC world champion has lost on stream so far, and LG lost on stream. Wait, did Wolf lose on stream?
The fact that they do have to really commit to a lot of brawlers, I think, on most of the comps means that they're going to
Like, we started with Cramel, and then Hubel, and then bam,
exactly.
explode. Oh, he hasn't been on stream? Oh, okay.
We see a lot of eject button on Mamoswine to get around.
Yes, Fluffy did win against Yellow Bingo, so now they're on the main stage, going up against Team MYS.
Pokemon that are more ranged based, where you need that extra distance gain, and you're not really picking Mamoswine into those compositions anyways.
That's right.
Yeah, we were talking about that. That's so cool. Apparently it's been 10 years since they brought their Pachirisu.
In their previous round of the tournament, I should say, and now they've got to make that happen.
That's what, I think that's what, was it Dinko that told me that?
In your column, and even if they're not match wins or just game wins, are absolutely huge in this group stage format, and that's what they are looking for currently. 3 players in the top path as Mew is going to make a rotation. Great play by Asinable to jump in front of that boosted auto attack to prevent Lucario from taking any extra damage. Steadfast probably would have kept them from being knocked out, but still,
crazy to think that some of these people have been competing for that long.
That is going
And
to
what the heck have I been doing the past 10 years?
Pretty scary, right? I mean, a Mew early on, especially a center area Mew, is going to be one of the scariest things to be kind of threatening you, because you're scared from so far away, even already on your own goal zone. But they did manage to hold on. They made sure that things weren't as bad as they could have been.
Yeah, and we actually see the rotation now. So HT on Yemu on the Gyarados is going to rotate into their own central area. Kind of expected HT on the Dodrio to pick up some of that experience, but favoring getting that Gyarados a little bit earlier if they can. Lots of damage.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Curly Crew.
Bottom path. Asinable holding down the top path, and let me check my notes. A Phantom.
Hey, Phantom can be a little bit scary. Good Phantom play so far, but the fight is happening in the center area, I should say, for Team MYS. They are going to finally catch Umbreon and try to chase everybody else out.
And Yemu cleanses the mean look with the bounce. So before that mean look, you get a little eye icon that opens above you. Before the eye opens, if you get any unstoppable keyword, you will not get locked in that little circle of that lockdown of mean look. So great timing by Yemu to employ that mechanic of unstoppable and dodge that, crowd control by Rex.
And now we're going to see the evolution to the full tree here. They're going to be assisting in getting that center EXP. Oh, not
oh, wow.
Yeah,
good stop.
Close. Had to do everything they possibly could to try and stop that, but only 4 points in from Team MYS this time. That is not looking quite as good, but we're going to see a lot more in, all in a row, right as I say that.
They said we can't score in the bot lane, well, about the top lane.
Scores, not enough to break that goal zone, but enough to feel a little bit better about the scoreline right now as we head towards 7 minutes very soon. The first set of objectives going to be spawning, and this time HT with a bit more aggressive play on the Dodrio. We saw a very, very passive play out of this speedster in the last match. Now we're seeing a lot more rotations into the enemy central area. It feels like HT's got a bit more confidence now that they got that game advantage.
You got to have some confidence when you're going up against one of the best teams in the world and you're up a game. But I do have to say we did lose the tier 1 gold zone on bottom, which is going to be huge for these objective spawns. It's going to remove a lot of the mobility of the Hoopa being able to rotate down easily to the basement Reggie. And that's why you're seeing a lot of members, I think, of Team MYS just run down there manually, but they may have to engage here as there's plenty of members from the other side as well. Big Woodhammer, and we're going to see the Extreme Speed try to go in and do a little bit more damage. It does not get the reset, but Regirock's still going to go down to Fluffy Nemesis.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, a huge flip up in strategy for Fluffy Nemesis, playing very hard around that bottom objective, understanding that that's where MYS wants to be, and if we want to slow them down, that's where we need to take the team fight. Again, HT on this aggressive angle into the enemy central area, and a very rare case where Reggie Alecki is knocked out and Metallic is not present.
I gotta ask, was that Extreme Speed or was that Power Up Punch? I feel like
Gen 5 was 14 years ago.
Sorry, I'm wearing sunglasses.
Stop.
No, honestly, it looks like when you catch the last half of it, you're like, well, it was one of them would do dashing moves. But that is really interesting that we are going to see the Power Up Punch. That does mean that they're going to have a little bit more secure. And
10 years ago, I was just a skippity in Ohio with no Riz, no cat for real.
I think Fluffy Nemesis is pretty happy with how that Reggie Alecki goes, right? It goes into that goal zone, breaks extremely early, and we can see the overdump situation. Fluffy Nemesis still has the lead despite losing that tier 1 goal zone. Reggie Alecki not breaking it by very much. Fluffy Nemesis feeling okay about that. I mean, when a goal zone cracking like a coconut like that, just a little bit under, you're feeling
I'm
like
a part of the old Pokemon
so much. I think Umbreon has lived
like,
in the right side of this map right
fans.
now. He's seen invade after invade after invade the entire time, and it does take quite a bit to take.
I know there's people who are older than me, but like,
oh, look at this, the jump!
I'm still there.
Rend only catches one, but that one will go down immediately. That had to have been an
we can officially apply to be a Pokemon fossil at this point.
Members, though, so not the hugest one.
Yeah, it's enough, right? Also, we got to talk about the Sarah Ledge.
Robin Williams passed away 10 years ago.
Going with the bitter blade for that
Holy.
going with that physical defense shred will help.
I get the vibe you're a Gen 2 fan. I am a Gen 2 fan. I'm more a Gen 1 fan.
Auto attacks as well, so we can cleanse that down a little bit and line up some engages if we get a big cycle cut from Sarah Ledge.
We may need some huge engages here as we're going to see the next set of big objectives.
I'm going to cover the gameplay for just 2 seconds. We're doing a Pokemon favorite thing. It's all the gens, all the types, and then some. And then at the end, you pick your ultimate favorite. For gens 1 and 2, I literally, I can't pick a favorite. I can't pick a favorite.
Another play set up.
That's how much I love it.
But we're seeing it time and time again. I mean, this is clearly a key part of what MYS is trying to accomplish in these matches. Cramman protecting themselves with a bit of a hurricane as they try to run away. That's another Sarah Ledge Unite move, I believe, at 350.
Somebody change the topic. I feel old.
Asnable, gonna have to use the eject button, but a lot of Unite moves spent, no real impact either side.
Yeah, it was just kind of scaring the opponent, you know? You're just like, hey, don't come over here. Look at me, I'm scary. But, I mean, at this point, clearly there's a lot of respect between both of these teams as far as, I mean, they've had a lot of really close fights and game now so far. But they're also sitting very close to each other as far as strength. The level 12s are the big difference on the side of Fluffy Nemesis. Points are relatively close. Levels are still relatively close. And I think they're starting to realize that they're getting to that end point of the game that made the huge difference last time. They do not want such a maybe chaotic, almost flip or weird team fight as they saw.
And in a game 2, after a flip situation like that in game 1, it's so tough to be that team.
Later, Red. Thanks for hanging.
So wary of the flip and play around it. And MYS can kind of just toy with Fluffy Nemesis, right? They can hit Ray, bait them in, play around Dodrio, back cap, use the Hoopa for a portal relocation towards a goal zone play. I mean, really, they have so many options, whereas Fluffy Nemesis really has to be zoned in on that main objective of the Rayquaza.
Oh, and then we're getting really close to that. I mean, both objectives will be spawning, both the top and bottom Reggies will be spawning before that happens. And once again, Fluffy Nemesis sitting down here, very happy to take this essentially for free. It can be a huge commitment, but they're taking that huge commitment, and that means that they actually are going to take that so quickly, they've got some time to readjust.
Yeah, I'm curious if this Reggie Alecki is going to see any attention. So far, it doesn't seem like that.
Check out the bracket really quick.
Play around this Rayquaza positioning. Mamoswine getting a bit of vision as well as space. That's an eject
I've been here for 10 hours.
Extremely early. Pokemon that doesn't
Same.
necessarily need it, but still is impactful for some
Almost
behaviors.
11
Now
hours.
Mamoswine going to be a bit more susceptible to what Fluffy Nemesis is going to try to do on the engage.
Oh,
And guess what? We're gonna do it again tomorrow.
By the side of Team MYS, they can go back. They've got the Mew. They can start to poke. Beam is gonna, I think, maybe connect to the Sterile Edge, or maybe not quite. But yeah, it's just gonna take a little bit of damage, and they just gotta find one good pick with the Wood Hammer here on the side of Fluffy Nemesis. But it's just.
I'm with Psyche on Pokemon Crystal. Like, Gen 1 Pokemon are my favorite, but I loved Pokemon Crystal as a game.
Will land on the Hoopa, but they're able to walk away from that moment. Rayquaza getting extremely low. Mew, Hoopa, Dodrio all available, and it's yet again a Hoopa secure. This time from the laser as Yang lines up yet another game securing play.
Wow.
If you're not banning Hoopa against Team MYS, I don't know what you're doing at this point. That is one of the
Apparently banning Greedent is what they're doing at this point. That's what they're doing.
Now still, of course,
Yeah,
there's plenty of
still
time.
got a game. Yeah, we still got a game here. A minute left on
Like,
the clock. A few
I get target bans, but like, you can't tell me that there's not more important bans that they could have done to try to gain some kind of
An
advantage.
extremely close game, but both Mew and Hoopa have Rayquaza shields.
Oh, and they're going to be able to
My favorite Pokemon, I'm gonna name off a few because I have favorite issues. Squirtle, Blastoise, Lapras, Arcanine, Goodra, Grimmsnarl,
points in the pockets here of two members of Fluffy Nemesis.
and I also like, I love water and grass types, so like, I'm a big Bulbasaur fan. Vaporeon is my favorite evolution. I love Lilligant, both Hisuian and not Hisuian. I don't.
Why not 50
What would
more
the-
points from Yang in the
what
enemy
would the
goal
not-
zone as
the-
MYS. take
Anyways,
down
I'm not
Fluffy
even gonna
Nemesis 2-0.
try with that.
Not a match I expected to see go 2-0, but MYS.
Technically, the whole Squirtle Blastoise line is just, I don't play with Wartortle that much. I usually try to get to Blastoise as quickly as I possibly can.
This Hoopa, you are giving Yang such a powerhouse opportunity. I mean, both secures on Rayquaza, multiple incredible unites. I mean, can we talk about the unite?
What? Wartortle reminds me of the kid from Toy Story that rips the toys' heads off.
As well in that game 2, the end of game 1, everything about it incredible.
I mean, Wonder Chef, we can't
The moment
ban
Arcanine
Pokemon
comes
for
to
banning
Unite, I'm
Pokemon
gonna be a
for
one-trick
banning
pony.
Pokemon.
The moment that
if
Unite comes, or
I believe
Unite comes to Arcanine,
banning Hoopa and letting
the moment that
go, I don't wanna
Arcanine
see
comes
what that
to
creates.
Unite is the
Yeah,
day that I
exactly.
come back
I mean,
to Unite.
The stuff of nightmares. I believe this is our game 1 final fight around the Rayquaza. Watch that Dodrio hitting so many targets.
Ah,
forward.
now you guys voted
In
for
the
Team
midst of
MYS.
it, and Hoopa
Okay,
is
okay.
still taking that Rayquaza. I mean, those scenarios are so tough to call, but MYS really played to every out they had, and they're successful with it. And then, of course, the success on
I
top
do
of the
not
success
hate
with that Hoopa
Wartortle.
Unite at home.
Yeah,
It's
this
just,
is
you know, the middle
absolute
Evos,
guide to how to play Hoopa. But we
they
gotta talk
don't
about the rest of the
really,
team playing just
you know,
so
they
well. I mean,
don't,
just everybody playing their part. Obviously, the comps were very similar.
they're not
just in
there for
general,
very
but
long. You know what I
everybody
mean?
was doing well across the board from both MYS and Fluffy Nemesis, to be 100% honest. This could have very quickly gone the other direction in both of these games. I mean, this was down to a flip. And
Make
then
a middle
another
starter
flip,
Evo tier.
but
Oh,
the play
bet.
was chaotic
Oh my god, I'm
situation.
so
well
down
done by
for
MYS.
this.
Look at that.
I'm gonna make a note of this so I
Yeah,
don't
okay,
forget.
that's that
I
MYS
love
energy
Bay
for
Leaf so
sure. They're a
much.
team that
Love, love,
everyone
love Bay
knows
Leaf.
is MYS name,
This
and
is
I think
actually
we're gonna be
such a good idea. I'm gonna
broadcasting
do
that
this.
even farther. They're able to take down Fluffy Nemesis, give themselves a great chance for qualifying for day 2, going 2-0
Middle
in this
evolution
phase,
tier
paramount,
list.
and they're able to pull that off. So big maneuvers for them. Fluffy Nemesis, I believe their fate is going to be held in a later matchup between two of these teams. That is a scary spot to be in, obviously.
Yopi, you're just
MYS
saying that because you think I don't have any love for Wartortle or Marshtomp. Oh, Yopi, I also want you to see something, sir. Sir, can I please have your attention, sir?
chances that they just lost is a very big deal, considering they are in one of the
Look at this right here, okay? And I would also like to turn your attention to
you said it was a nightmare to see their greeting. It would be a night Mew to see their greetings. It's Night Mew Foxy playing the Mew this time, of course.
Where is it?
I really hope we do. But every time that we've seen Mew on broadcast, I feel like it's been great.
A Night Mew is maybe the best pun you've ever said. I absolutely adore that one. Yeah. MYS, Foxy looking clean.
I didn't do that because of you. I did that because I wanted to.
You know, fun fact, I actually thought we would see a lot more Mew because of Charizard seeing a lot of play. Charizard with its Unite move needs to target with auto attacks, but with Mew's Mystical Mirage, you can't see him, can't auto attack him. But we want to hear from the Night Mew themselves. So we have Night Mew Foxy on stage for an interview. Take it away.
Hello, I am here with Night Mew.
Hello. She has a flower in her hair.
Your victory 2-0 against Fluffy Nem. You didn't actually make it to the day 2 playoffs last year. How does it feel to be one step closer this year?
It feels great.
It feels great, guys. I mean, one step closer.
You could tell these guys are like so like they're the socially awkward gamers. This is what it was like at Fragapalooza. You try to like strike up a conversation with people and they're just like so awkward and like, yeah. Just very short and sweet.
The shields, we were all shouting and stuff, but we know it's the last hit timing that we trained for months until now. As long as we time the last hits together, I trust my team can get every Rayquaza.
Trust, all right? That is the key word. Trust your team. Now, do you have anything that you would like to
Hey, that was Tidley!
The crowd that are cheering you
That was Tidley, guys!
Thank you for all your support. I know a lot of people are rooting for me. I won't let you guys down.
He won't let you guys down, folks. There you have it, Night Mew Foxy from Team MYS. We're going to send it back to the caster's desk.
All right, thank you so much, Kello and Night Mew Foxy, for letting us know a bit of the insight. I mean, trusting your teammates to take out the Rayquaza. Sometimes, I don't know if I trust my teammates, but I'm very glad they are trusting theirs.
I just messaged him.
MYS is clicking.
They are super clicking. They're clicking all their buttons together. That's at the last hit that they... Also, was that a Zoinks sticker in the crowd? Did you see that?
Oh, no.
Okay, we're gonna...
I can't see anything.
That's right.
Oh my god.
We are cool guys. We actually did all this by sound. It's very impressive. But wow, really, truly, I mean, going into this, like I was saying, I was so much more impressed by MYS when I looked at them more recently. And boy, is that continuing.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, NA is in a really tough spot. 2 teams already eliminated. 1 team through just barely. That's Orange Juicers, and now another team that's going to have their fate decided by another match. Very scary.
All right, bit of homer here. Hey, listen. Last year, only 1 NA team made it out of the group, so we all know how that ended. I feel like the sunglasses all of a sudden I'm a homer for NA again, but it's okay. I mean, honestly, all these teams have been putting up impressive performances all tournament long. I mean, it's really tough to nail down who
I realized I'm probably covering stuff again, by the way, so let me move back up.
I mean, Japan we talked about, but they're making a great case for themselves with a few of those games. And of course, EU looking good. And now APAC. What a terror to have to deal with. Either way, we have even more amazing games coming up for you, but we're going to jump to a very short break. Don't go anywhere. More Worlds right after this.
Woo. Bye.